heard of a story that begins with the counting down of the final 60 minutes before the death of a protagonist? What protagonist dies in the first place? That's what I thought too. Well, aren't stories supposed to have happy endings? Then what happened next? Well, before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Sameehah from SMKBI and I'm studying Form 4. And the book today I'm going to do a review about is The 5 People You Meet in Heaven, written by Mitch Albom and published by Little Brown. I'm sure the introduction hooked you in, just like how this book kept me fascinated. How heartless can a story be to begin with a protagonist's death? That's what I thought at first, when I flipped through the first chapter, reading the big title, The End. It was quite funny to me at first, and I was quite unsettled too. But these 231 pages kept me awake for 4 hours straight. And the best part is, I kept thinking about this for several months since it's so explicit with lessons. This book consists of 13 chapters and each chapter has its own color. Ladies and gentlemen, all endings are also beginnings. And so is the death of Eddie, which opened the doors to an unknown world of mystery, which is the heaven. Based on the writer's ideology, he gives voice to one of the characters named the Blue Man, who says, "Paradise, people often think of heaven as the paradise garden, a place where they can float on clouds or laze in the rivers and mountains. But scenery without solace is meaningless. This is the greatest gift that God can give you, to understand what has happened in life, to have it explained. It is the peace that you have been searching for." And as he ends with those lines, I try to understand the writer's ideology, and since it's purely fictional, I only focus on the lessons. So I continue to flip the chapters and I put myself in the shoes of the protagonist by meeting 5 people. 5 people who were involved in Eddie's life, with or without him knowing. Each individual teaches Eddie a lesson and explains an unheard side that Eddie hadn't known before. Starting with the Blue Man, who dies nearly because of Eddie, and continuing with his wife, who dies due to a brain tumor at the age of 47. He even meets the real owner behind the Ruby Pier, the place he used to work. And the last person he met was, well, I want to keep that as a suspense for now. Each time Eddie enters into a person's heaven, he keeps on thinking whether he saved the girl or not. That's when I remembered the lines of Eddie's captain, who is also one of the person Eddie meets in heaven, who says, "Sacrifice is a part of life. It is not something to regret. It is something to aspire to." Even as a reader, I could feel the depths of each and every characters. And when the moment came, Eddie knew that he saved the girl. And that's when he joins his wife at the Ferris wheel at Ruby Pier. Eddie then understands his life was not meaningless and he had a purpose to his existence. Dear viewers, this brilliantly well-woven story has taught me many lessons, and I would like to share a few. I first learned that everything in life happens for a reason. Maybe we might have not known what the reason was at that time, but as time passes on, we will understand why it had happened in life. Another lesson that I learned in this story is every story or every feeling has 2 different sides. Of course, to our eyes, only our view seems to be right, when we don't even know what happened to the other side. What I'm trying to mean is, don't blame hardships as something heavy as something that only you are feeling, because everybody undergoes through hardships. The only difference is when you undergo through it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it seems like we have reached to our conclusion. And to cut it short, this story consists of a lot of morals. Sometimes, when morals are portrayed as a fiction, we tend to understand them better, just like those fairy tales we listened when we were kids. As a reader, I would like to recommend this book to people of my age, since it teaches life lessons and changes a person's point of view. I would also like to rate this book a solid 5, since it kept me mesmerized from the beginning till the full stop. And that's all for today. Thank you for listening to my book review. Thank you for lending your precious time.